on the stream tonight? Final Fantasy XI on the private server. CatseyeXI, buddy! Alright, fellas. I am going to do a little Blue Mage review. Viewer requested. I'm going to be answering those questions. Give me question. Alright, friendo, let's get right in there. I was leveling Warrior last night. Let's switch over to Blue Mage, and then we'll try to do I didn't do any planning, no preparation, no previous engagements. I have no knowledge other than what I can see inside my own brain. All right, boys. Oh God, we can't. Hurry, get out of here! I'm getting demonetized as I listen to this music. I gotta run, running. So I think we're gonna try to do from like a beginning to end situation and try to remember what I did and how I did it. Okay, perfect, Chris. It told me nothing. All right, so first things first, I'm switching jobs. They took our gerbs. Is it exclamation point Mog? Perfect. All right, so let's switch over to the Blue Mage. So if you're brand new to the server, there is some differences on Blue Mage than retail. So for the most part, a lot of the... Darbist, hello sir! Welcome in! Good evening! So the server has a lot of similarities, especially up to the 75 cap. Once you hit past that, in retail, it's all changes, but there is some a little bit of convergence. All right, so I think if you're starting out, you have to at least get to level 30 to access your advanced jobs, and then you also need to have the treasures of Ott-Ergen unlocked. So if you take a look at your region info, the besieged area, this is how you get over. You got to get to West Ott-Ergen. And I did that by doing the quest line where you trade all of the sub-job items. So like your crab apron, your damselfly worm, your skull, the rabbit tail. It's like all 6. Trade those in and you get a ticket. And then you hop on the boat in Mahara. So let's take a look. So I usually go to, use the launcher, go over to the wiki. And here you can search for, information that is exclusive to the server here, where there are job adjustments underneath my face. So there you can see all the job adjustments that are made to Blue Mage. So there's a few, like I said, it's mostly at the 75 cap. You get a little bit of changing, where you get spells that are not currently available at the 75 cap. So like all these spells here, you can learn at 75. And I think in retail, they're like level 80, 85, 90. But they're all really useful, and I'd grab them all, frankly. But okay, so if you're brand new, I'd recommend going to your wiki, just search Blue, punch it in, and this will go over. It's got a lot of reading. This is the required reading, sir. So as you go through here, you can look at your job traits. Something that's interesting with Blue Mage is the spells you set will change the job traits that you have. So that's one thing that's fun, is you can set Blue Mage to be a melee, a healer, a support. It's really up to you. I will say they excel at damage, doing like burst damage with the spells, and they're pretty good at soloing stuff as well. But you can see here, this spell list goes 1 to like 90. So I know all the spells are current up to 75 on this list, and then that's when the Cat's Eye specific stuff takes over. So you can get these here. 75 is the stopping point, but like I said, the custom stuff you can continue higher on some of them. And then, like, I know regeneration you can learn, but you can't equip, so I don't know why that is. But I have it on my list. So if you take a look at the spells, right, each spell has a trait associated with it, or none. So this is how you can set yourself, different job traits is you need at least 8 total points. Does it say anywhere? I thought it said somewhere where you need to hit. There's limits based on the blue magic stuff. Spell limit. Oh yeah, you do have spell limits up to certain levels, and then you can further progress those on CatseyeXI as a specific guy you go talk to get even more points, so you can set higher amounts of spells. It's on the custom content. Hold on, I'm looking. So, yeah, here. So you go talk to Baroku and J10 of Whitegate, and for every spell you've learned, you get additional points. So players earn points based on how many spells they've learned, up to a maximum of 25. So you can continue to set more and more spells in your list. Currently, right now, I think I have like 20 slots and like 50 points or something. I don't know. Let's take a look. So you've got... So set your spells. And there is 20 slots. And I have 78. 78 points to set. But I've also got merits involved. And then I'm still missing a few spells. So I'm missing like 6 or 8 spells from the really tough monsters that you have to have like an alliance to fight. So I've got all the stuff you can get solo. But okay. Let's take a look. So yeah, the traits, as I was saying before, see how each trait has a number associated with it. You need a total of 8 points. So for example, if you want the resist sleep trait, you need at least 8 points. So here, traits points needed per spell. So 8. So you'd either need to set Pollen and Wild Carrot or Pollen Magic Fruit to hit that 8 total to get that job trait activated. This is pretty particular on most spells that you'll be setting. Like, for example, the big ones would be like Auto Refresh. So by setting, here you go, Arsenic Burst and Plasma Charge, Auto Refresh is 4 and a 4. So just those 2 spells alone will give you the Auto Refresh trait. That 8 comes into effect if you're looking at lower levels. You're like, what's the lowest level I can get Auto Refresh? Well, Stinking Gas gives you 1. So that's 1 plus Self-Destruct is 2, would be 3. Frightful Roar, that makes it 5. Cold Wave is 6. And then so 58 with the Light of Penance would be 8. So 8 total points, all those spells combined, total would be job trait auto refresh. So there's a few like notable spells that you probably want to pick up for certain traits, right? I mean, obviously, if you're a hunter, you're a collector, you want to grab everything. You want to grab every spell. But if you're curious, like, where do I pick the spells up? Well, just click the spell name, and then it'll give it a description. So as you set spells, they will also give you bonuses. So that could be like stat bonuses like strength, dexterity, vitality, HP, MP. You get some bonuses, stats, and then a job trait. But then you just scroll down, it'll show the enemies where you can learn the spells from. Blue check add-on is great too. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I haven't used that. But in the add-ons, where's it at? Blue check. Let's see. Auto. There it is, right there. So, what does it say? Add-on. So when you're playing, just slash add-on load blue check. Helper add-on assisting with tracking learned blue spells with an in-game UI. I never did that. I wish that was around.
I like my whiskey. 12 years old and mixed with Coke.
What, lady? I never used that. I just had a notepad. So I wrote everything down on a notepad. It'll tell you all the spells you can learn in an area. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's super helpful. So once you're in an area, it'll say these are available to learn. Okay, nice. Yeah, I didn't realize that. So the way the learning feature works is you fight the NM. It uses the spell, and then you kill it, and you get a chance to learn it. It'll show up like in your text dialogue as a yellow golden text, like down in your dialogue box somewhere. It'll say something, you know, down here. It'll say like whatever you learned pollen, and then if you didn't learn it, if you don't get that note, you didn't learn it. So it's kind of a hit or miss whether you learn it or not. I mean, there is, I think the two most popular ways of increasing your learning chance would be to have your magic skill capped. So you look at your skills and have your blue magic skill capped up to whatever your level is. You want to have that as high as possible. And then wearing the artifact gloves, which you don't get till like 56. 56? 58. There they are. And they increase the chance. So that's pretty much like the only way I know of help or, you know, increasing the learning ability. Otherwise, it seems like you either get it the first time or it takes 4 hours. So it can be really a toss-up. For the most part, learning is pretty straightforward. The only like exemptions or that I can think of would be like on a couple of mobs, like when you're learning the hysteric barrage attack, you need to break the Lamia weapon with criticals in order to get that ability to be used. Is that, where is that at? No. Hysteric barrage. So this is a good damage dealing spell. Uh-oh, my computer froze. Okay, there we go. But then it just kind of says, there you go. It says Marrows will perform this ability, but only after their main weapon has been broken from a critical hit. So it's kind of hit or miss on that one. I mean, you could merit into critical hit damage to help out, but just gotta wait, buddy. You just gotta be over there for a long time. Let's see. So yeah, I'd recommend, like when I was leveling, I just did my spells in chunks, like every 10 levels, I would try to get it done. So, you know, from like, I leveled to like level 10, and then I tried to go back and get my spells from all these areas, and then 10 to 20, and so on and so forth, until, because I ran Blue Mage as a sub-job for quite a while, and I didn't want to grind all the way to 75, like immediately, but I did want all access to all the spells, because I was running Dragoon / Blue Mage. But if you're just grinding through all the levels, it may be worth it just to... I've heard there's arguments for both, whether if you just want to push through to 75 and then go back and learn your spells. I think the only problem I could see is if you're drastically higher level than the enemy, it's hard to learn a spell. I do remember, like, so I got to 75, and then in order to learn some of the Cat's Eye exclusive stuff, you got to go fight like level 30 monsters in let me see, was it, I think it was Empty Thrash. So you got to go back to like the Promi zones, and I was fighting like Cravers and stuff at level 30, and this took like hours because it can't hit you, and you can't hit it, otherwise it dies. And so you're like waiting for it to use the TP move. So yeah, they're only like there's some level 60s, but I just went in here and I just wait. So it took a long time. So I would argue the fact of like taking a break and trying to learn your spells at the level appropriate zone. If you have trust, I mean, obviously this guide is for an ace account, so you'll have access to trusts and make it easier. But yeah, if you were doing it without, like, say you're a Crystal Warrior or whatever the other account on Cat's Eye that doesn't, and you're trying to do this completely solo, then it may be beneficial to kind of level up, have a level advantage. What else? Okay, so yeah, like I said, there's a lot of notable spells to set. I'll just go through the list of my favorites. Right, I'll set Cocoon is always a big one. That's huge. Headbutt. Oh, you're going to need your Headbutt. So Cocoon's defense, it gives you 50% extra defense. Your Headbutt is your bread and butter. It's a stun. Let's see. I usually set Healing Breeze and Sheep Song because it gives you auto regen. This is an AoE heal. This is an AoE sleep. Bludgeon. This is a nice spell for spamming at low levels for damage. Claw Cyclone is nice. You get it from tigers. It's a nice like conal attack. Soporific, I think that's a nice sleep spell. Screwdriver is decent for damage. Wild Carrot's a big heal spell. Chaotic Eye is a silence. So if the enemy's looking at you, you can silence it. Let's see. That Pinecone Bomb is a singular target sleep. Jetstream is huge for level 40. You get your ability to skill chain with yourself, so you'll use Red Lotus Blade Jetstream for like fusion, not fusion, for I don't remember. It's a good, it's a good way to go, Chris. It's a good one. Blank Gaze, I think, is a dispel, so that's decent. Let's see what else. I'm looking. Refueling is great. That gives you a 10% haste. Sickle Slash is good. I think you can SATA with that. You can sneak attack Sickle Slash, so that's good. It's a good damage spell. I'm looking. Okay. Magic Fruit is a huge heal. All of the blue magic spells are pretty greatly modified by mind. So when you're healing as a blue mage, make sure you stack mind gear. It makes a bigger impact. Death Scissors is decent as a damage spell. I only run Bad Breath for the fast cast, and I think that's only like a 10% fast cast. No. Let's see. No, this is all. Frenetic Rip is going to be your first spell for damage. This is a necessity. Grab it from Imps. It gives you accuracy bonus when paired with Disseverment, and it's one of like the big 3 spells for damage. So I always run Frenetic Rip. Let's see. Yawn is a really good sleep spell, AoE sleep. Run that. I like to run Zephyr Mantle for the conserve MP, and it's like a blink. So I run that. And I usually run, in order to get conserve MP, I run Zephyr and... what's the other one? I think it's like... there it is. And Chaotic Eye. So I have a Silence and a... and then that'll give you conserve MP. If you're like, I'd rather have the stat from something else. Fire Spit is decent. I don't know why it says magic attack bonus. That's not right. Magic attack bonus. Let's take a look. Fire Spit gives you plus 3% strength. I guess I could just do it this way too. So I run Chaotic Eye, Zephyr Mantle for that conserve MP. If you're like, I want, but it gives you agility, 3 agility. If you'd rather have 3 strength in that place, and you got the points for it. Let's see. It's right. Did I go pat? Okay. I'm special. There you go. So Fire Spit gives you plus 3 strength and conserve MP, but it's more points. So depending on what you have for a point total, you can swap that in, but it does give you strength as a modifier for some of your spells. Where were we? Okay. Yawn, Zephyr Mantle, yep, Frost Breath. With the Artifact Helm, you can set some of the breath spells, and I think the breath spells are really good for damage, because it, like, negates... I think it's based on your hit points, so you can run, like, a high hit point setup with your Artifact Head, and then do some pretty decent damage with any of the breath spells. Diamond Hide is nice for a party stone skin.
What's the difference between a baby and an onion? Nobody cries when you chop up a baby.
All right. Whoa. Okay, lady. So then your second big spell would be Hysteric Barrage. That's like a dexterity modifier. So grab that one, or you could potentially skip it on the server, because if you have Frenetic Rip. where's it at? And Disseverment, that gives you the accuracy bonus. And then I like to run Quadratic Continuum, because Quadratic Continuum will give you a light. So if you use your weapon skills, use Resquiat in a skill chain, it'll give you light. I think Savage Blade and Cannonball make light, and then Vorpal Blade and Hysteric Barrage make Detonation. I'm probably way off on that. But yeah, so those would be the spells that you'd set with each of these. Otherwise, I just use Red Lotus Blade, Jetstream when you're doing your self-skill chains. Okay, let me see here. What else we got, buddy? All right. So yeah, Hysteric Barrage. Cannonball is really good. I definitely picked this up. It's from the Womora. Nice. I was wondering if anything skill change with Resquiat. Yeah, 100%. That's your big damage would be Resquiat and then Quadratic. That's the go-to. That'll do light, and you can crank out some 6K. Well, probably even higher than that. 8, 10K skill chains, self-skill chains. That's the bread and butter, baby. But Cannonball's really good. I definitely grab this because it's a ranged attack. So in certain fights, you need to be out of the way, and you can set Cannonball and Cocoon because the modifier for Cannonball is like Vitality and Defense. So if you pop a Cocoon, buff your defense, and then use Cannonball, I think you can be like 20 Yalms. I don't know what a Yalm is. You can be at range and use Cannonball. And it's comparable with Gluttonous Dart. So the other like really good ranged blue magic spell is Gluttonous Dart. I think Cannonball's like 60 or 70 MP. And Gluttonous Dart is 16. So say your Cannonball's maxed Cannonball with high defense, you hit for like 700. Your Gluttonous Dart is hitting for like 250, but it's spammable and it's such a low MP cost. They're basically the same thing. I noticed I was hitting more often with Gluttonous Dart. So it seemed like when you miss on Cannonball, you miss big. And you gotta wait for the cooldown where you can spam the Gluttonous Dart. But those would be your two ranged spells you want to set for fights. So Gluttonous Dart on Cat's Eye is earned from the Velkk Intruder fight. Where is that other page? Oh, it's over here. So the Velkk Intruders, you can look at here. So like all of these guys down here, all of these spells are huge. There's Gluttonous Dart right there. There's a fight. I got the fight on the channel, on the YouTube channel, so maybe just look up Velkk Intruder, Cat's Eye, and it should pop up. And it shows the fight, how it goes. But yeah, this is going to be a harder fight to learn these spells, as well as like your... it seems like T'Chaka, he's stingy. If you're fighting him, you have to get the final blow. So he has to use it, and then you have to kill him inside of Domain Invasion, which can be tough. It's like you're fighting with like 20 other people. But like this is from a Cerberus, so that's tough. But you're gonna earn all those other spells. Okay, let's take a look. So what else? Looking good. Saline Coat is really good for magic defense, and so is what's the other one? Where's it at? So there's certain fights where the NMs, specifically in that Velkk Intruder fight, where they are using these particular monsters, like these wild Balefear, they're spamming magic AoEs. So the only way to survive is by stacking magic defense. So if you're fighting these guys trying to get, either the drops or learning the spells particularly, you want to stack yourself Saline Coat. I think it has like a decaying magic defense. It starts at like, there you go, plus 50% defense bonus and decays over time. So that one's good. And then the other one is like Magic Barrier. Is it Barrier? I thought it was Magic. It's learned from the eyes, those flying eyes in the frozen zones. Where the hell are they? Hold on. Chris, do you know what you're talking about? No. All right, pal. Is it? Let's take a look here. Whoops. Can I set a spell, please? Here, just look at this. It's at the bottom here. Magic Barrier. There it is. Oh, 75. Okay. Evil Eye. Darmus, thank you, Evil Eye. So, yeah, this would be your other spell. Grants a magic shield effect. So you stack those two if you're fighting anything that, like, cranks out big AoE spells. That'll basically make you so you can live through the fight, because the most important thing about learning spells is to make sure that you're alive. You can't learn it if you're dead, buddy. Alright, let's see what else. Okay, gonna go through. Okay, learn that, yes. And then here's the third or your second, depending on how you're looking at it. Huge spell, Disseverment. This is learned from urns. It gives you accuracy bonus when paired with Frenetic Rip. So I definitely pick those up and always run those. That way you can. Those would be your big damage spells. Sub-Zero Smash is decent if you're using Fast Cast. You can run that with Bad Breath. Get Fast Cast, even though it may be a little high. Too many points involved. I think you're going to need to set like. Dedicate 7 or 8 points just for Fast Cast. So it depends on what you're doing. Magic Hammers, I haven't really used that a whole lot. I do know it was a pain in the ass to get, because the frogs like to cast Death and Charm. So good luck getting that. Acidic Burst is huge, buddy. It's going to give you auto refresh, and it's a flash. So I usually Acidic Burst an enemy. That way you flash it before you put it to sleep. So it's an AoE flash, and then you can cast Yawn to sleep things. But that stacks with Plasma Charge, so pick this up from Sharks. The stat bonuses are nice. Strength and Dex. You won't actually use this spell a whole lot because it just gives you like shock spikes. So you're mainly setting it for the bonus and the auto refresh. But okay, and then that kind of finishes off the 75 stuff. And then off on the Cat's Eye exclusives, all the spells are good. But particularly, I like to run Empty Thrash and Heavy Strike, because that gives you a double attack. Gives you double attack plus some stats. Quadratic Continuum is huge. This would be your number 4 or 3 damage spell. Like I said before, you run Quadratic to get Dual Wield. So it gives you a Dual Wield trait, and it skill chains with... oh god, brain. It skill chains with... oh my god, buddy. With your weapon skill... Resquiat. There we go. It skill chains with Resquiat to make light. So it'll be huge. Okay. Alright, going down. Plenum Embrace can be nice. It's a cure, but it's really expensive. It's like 106 magic points. But it also gives you a little bit of an attack bonus. Yeah, 106. It gives you an attack bonus.
I like my sex like I like my jokes. Dark and nobody gets it.
Nice. And then it also gives you magic attack boost, depending on the moon. So I don't really run this because it's too expensive for magic. I just use Magic Fruit, which I think is like a 50 magic. It's like half the cost. But it's there. Okay. Let's see. Barrier Tusk is huge. That's a physical... it's like reduces the amount of physical damage you take. So if you're tanking anything big, I usually run that when I'm in Domain Invasion. Throw that up. It gives you it's not like Cocoon. It's different. It reduces damage taken. So you can stack it with Cocoon for even more damage reduction. And then Magic Barrier, like I was saying before, that's good for if you could only pick one, I would say Saline Coat is a better version. But if you stack them, if you have both, they stack. So, and then going down, a super huge spell. It's super important. This probably, if you had to pick one, it's gonna be Battery Charge. So this gives your refresh. Right, you're gonna give yourself refresh. It's a 3 MP tick for over 100 ticks, 300 MP. So this is huge. I mean, if you're getting refreshed by a trust or by a party member, you can set it for something else, but I primarily play solo, so I'm going to be refreshing myself. And then Animating Whale. This combos with... for dual wield, it combos with... oh my god. Oops, okay. It combos with... hold on. Quadratic Continuum. Thank you. I remembered that. Combos with Quadratic Continuum to create dual wield. I don't know if that's 10% or if it's 5, but you'll be setting those spells anyway, because this is probably the fastest attack speed. I think it's 15, where your other stuff is like 10. So this is the best haste you can put on yourself. Like I said, then you just look at whichever enemies and go find them. Okay, let's take a look. What else we got? I think that's... oh. Okay, Battery Charge. Those would be the two big ones. Yeah, and then the rest of these all create... anything that you get from these wild Underwiggers. They give you... Wedgers? They give you a huge stat bonus, and then those are some of the really powerful spells. So I know they've had to tone it down a few times just because like Blue Mage could solo Divine Might because it was ridiculous because you could terror everything. So if you look at the spells, let's see, they give you a huge... there's Searing Tempest, so like plus 30 MP, plus 8 strength, and physical, and one spell, setting one spell gives an entire job trait. So physical attack bonus. So I like to run Entomb because it gives you a decent physical defense bonus, extra defense, and then it also, you'll petrify enemies. And then Tenebral Crush is a magic accuracy bonus with defense down. So the defense down on this is really strong. It's like 15% for 3 minutes. So it's a really strong defense down. You shoot an enemy and then beat on him. And it gives you an accuracy bonus. Yeah, those spells are top tier. Make sure you pick all these up. They're tough to get, though. Okay. Alright, we covered the spells. As you know, Blue Mage Sword. On the server, you can actually... Blue Mage can actually equip the Octave Club +1. So there's a quest on CatseyeXI where you can upgrade your Kraken Club with that Junk Goblin. This guy over here, you trade him enough stuff, and you can pick up like a lure, and then you can fight an NM, which will give you a drop to get the Kraken Club +1. So a Blue Mage, this guy. Yeah, there it is. Epic Lure. 30,000. So start working on that, buddy. 30,000 points! But the Blue Mage can equip that Kraken Club +1. And so you may want to invest some skill points in the club. Or I don't think I got enough patience for... I don't know. It'll take a long time. Okay. Looking at job points. This is all pretty standard. Okay, so Let's see. Where's the actual... Does it actually go over the actual quest? So you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it'll actually give you guides you can look at as well. So that's handy. And you can check out the different... I think I looked at this Blue Mage guide here, and it kind of went over some of your abilities, like your 2-hour ability. Chain Affinity is the ability, or the ability that you use for self-skill chains. If you're curious, this is what my macro looks like. It's pretty simple. Nope, wrong one. Okay, here we go. So I think I have one for each. So I just have Chain Affinity. So I just put in the first slot, I do Chain Affinity Me. And then whichever weapon skill I'm using. So I always go, I'll use the Chain Affinity, and then I'll move over one, I'll do Resquiat, and then finish it off with Quadratic. So it's got my weapon sets. I think 10 is my weapon skill, 9 is my haste set. Just weapon skill, Resquiat T, weight 3. I know I do. You could do 2 probably and get away with it. And then the Quadratic looks like this. I think the Quadratic has a stat modifier of like strength and dexterity. So I have a strength dexterity set. I put recast on there because I'm always spamming. And then Quadratic Continuum. The quotations are important. And then weight 4. And then that's my haste set. So if I were running, like here's Savage Blade and Cannonball. So I could do Chain Affinity, Savage Blade, Cannonball, or do I still have... Yeah, there's Vorpal Blade. There's Vorpal Blade there with Hysteric Barrage. Like I said, I think... do I have a set for like lower level stuff? Yeah. So then if you're fighting any level caps... it's a good idea to have sets set up for, like, I think I have a level 40 cap set where it's Chain Affinity, Red Lotus Blade, and then Jetstream to create that. And, Headbutt, Sprout Smack for slow, Cocoon. The Metallic Body is also influenced by anything that augments Stone Skin. So if you're using a Stone Skin's torque, I think you get like an extra 20 hit points on your Stone Skin. And you can pick that up from the daily the login goblin, like in any of the port cities. You get your login rewards. Is it login? Where you get the points? Yeah. It's on a rotation. I'm not sure when it's coming up next. Okay, let's keep looking. What else we got? Okay. Unbridled Learning. We have access to that at 75. And you can use some of the spells as it's shown on... yeah, Unbridled Learning. So you get... Once you use it, you can... if you have learned these spells, which I like to stack, like I have the Hardened Shell from the tortoises in the tunnel. You can stack your defense. No, it doesn't stack, excuse me. This is 100% defense boost, and it doesn't stack with Cocoon. But I was hitting like 1k defense with this. With a protect. Seemed like it was decent. Okay. As for... okay, as for merits? Sure, buddy. This is what I'm rocking for my merits. Right, I'm running... Okay, so we're running... Right, full HP MP, full stats. Combat skills, you're going to want... Sword skill.
My grandma died peacefully in her sleep, unlike the passengers in her car.
What was that? Okay. Alright. Okay, and then parrying. I think Blue Mage has a decent parrying skill, so you can get some parrying. Magic skills, obviously, Blue Mage, where's it at? Blue Magic skill, of course. Others, I'm running some critical hit rate and then spell interruption rate. And then, let's take a look. So, physical potency, magical accuracy, stacking both of those. And then convergence, that way you can really hit an NM hard, like with that defense down buff. Tenebral Crush, you use convergence, and then it limits it to one enemy as well. And then assimilation for more points. That way you can put on the high cost spells. But of course, it's always personal preference, and please do your own due diligence and then show me the numbers. Show me the numbers, Lebowski! Okay, I'm looking. I don't think any of this really applies. None of this really. I really couldn't tell you what's the best in slot for everything, but we'll take a look at the gear, and I'll bring up some notable gear. These are all the job traits. True, I kind of went over that a little bit. Oh, here, dual wield. So your first dual wield gives a minus 10%. And it looks like it has diminishing returns. Or no, it's 5 after that. So just by running Animating Whale and Quadratic Continuum, you're hitting that 10. Minus 10%. Double and triple. I was just do, Empty Thrash, Heavy Strike. It's 4 and 4. And they give you like plus strength and dexterity or something. Like I said, the only real defense bonus trait I would be running would be Entomb. Because you set one. What is the difference? Let's take a look. What is the difference? So if I take my spells. Okay. And then look at the defense. I'm running 368. Okay, so if we just put Entomb on, which says physical defense bonus. So there you go. So now I'm up to 400. So that's a decent, what's that, 32? 32 defense bonus? And it'll stack with other stuff. So that'd be the only one I'd rock. Otherwise, any of the other defense bonus stuff, I think only gives you plus 10 defense. So probably for your base, because you could run Saline Coat and then like Grand Slam or Terror Touch to get a defense, and that only gives you 10. So in my opinion, that's not that worth it. Okay. I run counter sometimes with Azuran Claws and Counter Stance. When you're solo fighting stuff, particularly in like Domain Invasion, and I'm getting all the aggro, you think about, you counter one in every 10 physical attacks. So it's almost like a minus 10% damage reduction. That's not exactly how that math works, but that's what I like to think. And then auto regen is 1 HP. If you are fighting any particular mobs, like say you're like, I'm gonna go kill some lizards, or I'm gonna go fight some plants or something, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it says 8% chance to intimidate them. It seems like it's 1 in 10, which 8%, whatever. So it's actually worth setting this up, because that is also like another, 10% damage reduction. If they're intimidated, 8% of the time, they wouldn't be taking that attack round on you. So stacking some of the killers works out pretty well. And then I want to say, oh yeah, if you get the like the second tier, it only goes up to 10. So usually just getting like Beast Killer 1 or Lizard Killer 1 gives 8%, and then further investment gives 10. I know there are weapons that have some of the killer effects on it. Beast Slayer, this sword, I've got a video on the YouTube channel that shows you, but it's a ZNM fight. So, you know, the ZNM, which is the Zenny Notorious Monsters and Treasures, they're available to kill. You just buy your little photograph box, and then you can just go outside of town and like take pictures of birds, and then trade those in for points. Use those points to buy pop items, and then pop the monster. So this sword is decent, but there's much better options. But for the time investment, I bet you could get this within, I don't know, 4 hours. Level 75 blue. Go start the Zenny stuff. Go outside, take pictures for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then go pop the monster in under an hour. And if you're lucky, you get it first time. I think I got it first time on stream. Wee woo. Surprised you don't have the Mimesis. I don't even know what that is, sir. Is that the relic, or is that the other one? Yeah, no, oh, it's the Obra. Oh, that's true. I'm gonna bring that up, sir. So that's also notable gear. Before I get ahead of myself, hold on. Yeah, we'll talk some more about notable gear. Faux show. Let's see. We don't get access to Treasure Hunter with spell setting, but Blue Mage can run a couple of things. There's a couple of options to get Treasure Hunter, right? You can sub Thief. No, yeah, I didn't mean to jump ahead. No, it's fine. So the Rabbit Mask. I mean, you can sub Thief, which would give you Treasure Hunter 1. You can get the Rabbit Mask right there. Give you Treasure Hunter. Do your Ventures. There's more content. Look up Ventures, and then you can trade your... We'll go talk to the Goblin while I'm talking. Basically, get in venture parties, or anytime you see like the notification, like, hey, there's a VNM showing up. Show up, click the point, and you get points. Once you get that 5,000 points, you can buy the Treasure Hunter Mask, which can be equipped by every job at level 1. So that's a solid option. Another way to get Treasure Hunter on your Blue Mage would be to prestige your Thief. So on the server, they recently implemented a prestige system. So you can now take your Thief and level up to 75. Talk to this guy in the corner over here, if I'd load in. And once you hit Prestige 5, it essentially gives your character, this guy Prestix, it essentially gives your character Treasure Hunter. So not just a job, but like your character. And that can be used on every job. So you could potentially have Treasure Hunter 4 if you prestige your Thief 5 times, plus the mask could be Treasure Hunter 5 on a Blue Mage, like Blue Mage Ninja or Blue Mage whatever, Blue Mage Beastmaster if you're retarded. I don't know. Okay, so here's the Venture guy. So I think the first time Ventures, you got to spend 50,000 gil, and then you're ready to go. Then you just got to get into it. I think if you type !Ventures, it shows the active stuff. So like if you're level 10 to 19, you go to Jugner Forest, which is at 100%, so it should be popping up pretty soon. Rolandberry Fields is 30 to 39, 20 to 29 for Rolandberry Fields. So you go to these areas and you fight these monsters at these levels, you get points. Okay. Then once you get 5,000, trade to him, get the mask. Okay, got it, buddy. So I think that's pretty much the only way I can think of. Is there may be a... Yeah, that's not for Blue Mage. I think there's a great sword that drops from a monster that gives like Treasure Hunter 2, but I don't think that's for Blue Mage. Alright, let's keep looking. I'm looking. Okay. We said we conserve, fast cast, refresh. Yes. Absolutely necessary. Yeah, I mean, double attack, triple attack, dual wield. Yep, we got it. We don't get access. I mean, we do. Do we get access to store TP? I don't think it's that good. Okay, debuffs, yes. Buffs and heals. So this guide has a recommendation for...
My uncle used to beat me with his belt. That's why I wear suspenders now.
Hot. Okay. All right. Debuffs, buff and healing, utility damage. That doesn't really apply. Okay, so now we're to the weapons. So yes, huge note. We'll take very good note. If it is your first Blue Mage and you're like, I want to be a dedicated Blue Mage on the server, this is my main job. Get yourself a T-Zona. It's really broken here. I think you get like magic points back on strike, and then you can do like quadruple damage. And a huge investment to getting that is like the we're gonna scroll up here. You know, it takes a long time to build it. So as a new player, you get a few. No, this isn't it. I'm special. Here, we're gonna go like this. New player, you get some rewards. So on your first time getting level 75 and getting rank 10, you get rewards. So you can, one of the rewards is like some of the materials and like trophies you'll need to build your sword. Where's it at? I thought it shows me. Hold on, we're gonna scroll through this real fast. Can I click this out of here? No. So you can get a free relic weapon. This is relic, so this doesn't apply to Blue Mage. If you're, once you hit 75, you hit level 100 in a craft to get your free relic weapon. I wonder if it's under something else. I forget the exact. We'll find it real fast, and then. But I would save your level 75, rank 10 reward, because you can either choose like a Kraken Club, a defending ring, or like trophies and whatever else is involved in building that sword. So that's huge. If you're like, I want to be a Blue Mage, and you want to get that sword, that's what you would spend that reward on. If not, I would recommend a defending ring. I picked up the defending ring since I'm a Dragoon main. Defending ring's like minus 10% damage when you're wearing it. So why is it not showing it here? Is it in a different area? Milestone rewards, maybe? Aha, here it is. Yes. Okay, so you get a Mythos token. So, obtain rank 10 in any nation, one job to 75, go to the spatial anomaly in Castle Zivabelis. You can get any stage 4 relic, or you can get a Mythos token. So players will still need to obtain the T4 ZNM trophies, Imperial Gold pieces, and Alexandrite. But this is huge. This will cut out a huge chunk of work. So I'd do that if you were looking into it. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the weapons. We'll take a look at gear and notable gear and such. So main sword I'm rocking is a Zuliato. I don't know, you get this from the Domain Invasion Tyrannosaurus. It's a drop, you just got to get lucky with your lots. But it's a pretty good sword. Offhand, I'm rocking the Joyusi, which you can get that from the Kraken guy in Sea Serpent Grotto. It's a nice offhand. Some other notable swords to run. Like I said before, the Beast Slayer was decent. Shiva's Shotel is pretty decent. I think you get that from defeating is it Shiva Prime or is it Carnbunkle? Buddy, I don't remember. That's decent. But probably the step under I would recommend or suggest, the step under your relic or your mythos would be the Oboro weapon. And the Oboro stuff is really good. Go to Ultimate Weapons, look at Oboro. And you can scroll down through here. Oboro's just here in Port Juno. It takes a couple days. Once you give him the required materials, it'll show up in like a couple days. Okay, so each job has its own requirements. These materials are earned through domain invasion. So you can pick up the horde. Like when you do 6 domain invasions, you get a chest. That chest has a chance to have these items. I think you can also buy these items on the auction house if you just want to build it. Bald also drops from domain invasion. I think you can buy it too. And then you usually have like a couple of weapons or other items that go with it. So I have the Sand Dug for the Thief. This is really good. I like this. I have the Shield for the Paladin. And yes, sir, Darmist, you are correct, sir. I think my next is going to be the Memesis, which looks pretty good. You know, it's got high damage, low delay. You get nice stat bonuses, good accuracy, magic attack bonus, magic accuracy, and fast cast. So that's huge, buddy. Huge. I actually think I have some of these WAS. I could actually probably build this. I would need to pick these up. So you could either purchase them off the auction house, which they're probably like $1 million, or what I did for when I was building my Thief Dagger, I actually just leveled this stuff up. So I actually leveled up smithing. The Killer Sword is 3 mil. Ah, shit! Alright. In my opinion, you know, I'm playing the game. I'm going to play the game. You can either spend your time leveling up a craft, or spend your time farming gil. So it's kind of a, you know, 6-7. It's kind of a, you know, so what I did was I actually leveled up my smithing and my other stuff. I went and farmed materials and I made a knife. And then I picked up the Garuda's dagger to actually build my own. I think with the shield, I just bought the 2 things. But I don't know if it's easier to, let's look at the killer. It's Alchemy 110. Ah, gross! Well, that's why it's so expensive. Not easy to craft. Yeah, you can get to leveling, buddy. Get that alchemy up. Oh my god. But then you just trade it to the guy and get the sword. So it's pretty good, pretty nice. What are some other swords I see Blue Mage rocking? I'm sure there is some special stuff with dragon. Is there swords in the dragon slaying department? Oops. Stormblade. There you go. Check that out. So for 5,000 points from the dragon slaying, occasionally attacks twice. That would replace your Joyusi. I think there's one with Dragon Killer. Nice. Okay. Unbreakable. There you go. There's another one. Unbreakable. So you get some damage taken. Minus 5%. Additional effect water. So those are both good. You know, the 1,000-player reward gave us 600 points. So if you saved your points for your Dragon Killer stuff, it's a nice head start into those. I think I'm going to invest mine into the helmet. But get in there, do your dragon slaying event. It has some decent. It has a whole bunch of decent gear here. Blue can rock these handpiece here too. This handpiece is nice. I need to find a link shell that does that stuff. Yes, I see on the wiki. There's or not the wiki. Excuse me. On the Discord, there's always people like accepting invites, requiring invitations. I'm struggling today, buddy. Okay. So there's a few other things to pick up. Other notable gear. Right, get your relic gear, obviously. Do your dynamices. I'm rocking like I think I have everything macroed in place. So we can just look at the actual stuff.
What's the best part about fucking a dead prostitute? You don't have to pay her afterwards.
Nice. Okay. So my haste gear. I could technically rock a Wahala turban here for more haste, but I have the augmented Homnim that gives, because there's magic accuracy on there, and then it has dual wield and triple attack, or triple attack and something else. But so my haste gear has some refresh pants or for refresh body, Homnim hands, more leggings, booties, belt. Finish your treasures. I think after 44, woo, you can buy your belt, or just talk to me. I can buy it for you. It's 500 ABCs. It's not for free, buddy. What are you thinking? But 500 ABCs to get you a belt. And then I got the Suppa for dual wield. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm looking. I have my weapon skill set. Since Resquiat is a mind augment, you need to stack your mind for Resquiat. Got the Mat's Cap for mind. The Phodia Gorget, so you can do the Gorget stuff. In C, you trade organs, and you can buy the Gorget and the Chip. I would highly recommend you don't go to the auction house to buy the Gorget. Wait until Bastock is at least in second place, and then go buy an NPC in Bastock Markets, and they're only like 19,000 gil per Gorgon. Otherwise, you're overpaying. I think somebody else was telling me they paid like 60 a Gorget, so they're paying almost three times. Brutal Earring, always on weapon skills. Estir Pendant is daily or login rewards. I got my Rajas because I don't know, whatever. Tamus for the mind. You can have all three rings if you want to pay the ABCs for it. But there's mind. There's mind on the gloves. Accuracy and triple attack. I just have accuracy on the body. Accuracy. Mind is +5. Mind +7, and then mind +3. So mind for your Resquiat. Here's my strength and dexterity setup. Most of your big spells, Frenetic Rip, Disseverment, and Quadratic Continuum have like strength and dex modifiers. So put in strength and dex, strength. I don't know, okay, strength, accuracy, strength and dex, so your artifact body's huge for blue magic skill. I usually run the blue magic skill anytime I need a spell to land. Accuracy, Bobcat belt. That was a pull out of the box. I pulled that out of the box. Otherwise, you could run like a Warwolf belt. I think that has strength and dexterity +5, vitality +5. Or what's that mantle? There's a mantle that has like strength and dexterity on it that you can buy from the auction house. I think it's expensive. I think it's like 2 million though. Accuracy. Oh, fast cast. I have this on for the fast cast. And then the Sealdo boots, strength or dexterity and agility. You can pick those up from the with your domain invasion points. So if you're farming your points, go talk to the guy, this Galka guy over here, and they give you a list of items to choose from. I think it's on the thing as well. On the thing, Chris? Yeah, you know what I mean. Domain invasion guy. Oops. I think I'm running into something. I was stuck on a box! I'm all turned around over here. So this guy, once you have points, you can buy a lot of decent gear. Put it on the auction house too, but I'm not sure how fast it sells. But domain invasion guy. Let's see. Does it actually show? All of the domain invasion weapons give these bonuses when you equip them inside of domain invasion. So while you're farming all your stuff, if you have a domain invasion weapon, it really helps. And you can see the drops for the bosses, which weapons they drop. And if you're wanting to get that sword, it's this guy, Achuka, drops it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so exchanging domain invasion shards. Speak with the domain invasion officer, Upper Juno. Expansion, and here you can trade your points that you get, your domain invasion shards. You can trade it for some of the materials used to build the Oboro weapons. You can actually get some weapons. So, is there a sword here? There's a dagger now. Dragoon. Okay, so the Asilado boots +1 are right here for 15,000 points. I just bought them right here. What's this? Oh, that's evade. Okay, got that. There's also these rings have blue magic skill. What else? I think there's a torque with mind on it. I thought there was a hold on. Physical damage. There's the belt with the mind. There's earring. Oh, here you go. Earrings have magic accuracy, so that counts as, helping spells to stick. Here's a strength torque, +1 for 25,000. So if you want +7 strength on the neck, conserve MP plus mind. Oh, that's not a bad. Maybe I should pick that up. It's not bad. And then torques. If you're into crafting, or pick up your torques. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Okay, my mind setup. This is for healing. I have this set up as like a healing macro. If I use magic fruit or my stone skin ability, macro in this mind for abilities that use it. So we got cap, torque, earring, loquation. I don't know why I got. Sometimes because I'm running out of gear space. I just got to mix and match stuff. Mind, defending ring. Okay, mind, fast cast, haste for recast. I got that back piece on everything. Okay, and then blue magic skill for better healing, and then magic accuracy for if I want a spell to stick. Right, you get the magic accuracy on the headpiece, earrings, body, back. It's probably for recast, and then spell interruption rate, fast cast. I don't know if they got that. Oh, that's right. Before I forget, there's more notable gear to go over. Oh my god, how could I forget any of this stuff? But if you check out the wiki, something huge that is exclusive to CatseyeXI is all of the Storming Sea gear, buddy. So Storming Sea is now like taking replacement for the Artifact +1 gear. Plus you can augment it. Look out, nasal spray. So if you scroll down, there's custom changes to sea on CatseyeXI, where you can now earn all of the Homnim gear, which I'm wearing on my Blue Mage, and then you can further augment that Homnim gear. So by doing more Omegas and stuff, you can give yourself different augments, which is really big. It's huge, buddy. So if you look at some of the gear, I press Y or triangle on my controller. Oops. Okay, that's not how you do that. Square. There you go. You can see the augment, so you get extra magic accuracy, triple attack, dual wield, parrying, physical damage, strength, polearm, meditation, and then I'm missing the legs still, but the legs actually give blue magic skill. So if you look at the legs, you get extra blue magic skill on your legs and conserve MP. My head's in the way. Move your head. Okay. And you get extra conserve MP blue magic skill. So that's huge for Blue Mage. Some of the Nashira gear also has some decent buffs or decent augments that you can throw on there. Maybe worth looking at. But the big thing, the hugest of bigger things that you've never seen before, would be your Artifact 1. So here on the server, there is gear exclusive augments to every job. So once you get your Artifact 1 stuff, which is like it was in retail, or I guess 75 retail, where you talk to Sagira, you go ahead and give them... It's not any of this stuff. It is usually an ingredient, the ingredient from the drop. So you remember in like the old days, you'd go to Limbus. Well, now you do Storming Sea. You do your daily quest from there, and then you get you have a chance to get the job ingredients, and then you would buy the other piece off the auction house, or you'd craft it. So, for example, let's see if I can find it here. I don't think this doesn't look current to me. This isn't right. Hold on a second. So as you do your dailies, right, go talk to Polinium. Yeah, in order to obtain Artifact +1, check out the Storming Sea page. Alright. So here's where you would do your dailies. You'd go talk to... Limbus was removed. So now you go talk to Palalumen in Grand Palace of Hooksoi, and he gives you these quests. So you defeat mobs, find the flux, and then item request. You can complete these, and you will get Ancient Beast coins and then Artifact +1 materials. Once you get the required materials for Blue Mage, which I can't remember what they are, then you can trade them in, plus the coins, to Sagira and whatever the item is, and then she'll wait a day and then upgrade your artifact to the +1. You can also, if you wanted to target farm just the materials, you can see the Puebo here. You traded an emerald chip from Palalumen. You trade him some... Every quest you do gives you coins. You can then use those coins to buy chips. So you do your quests, you get some Cosmo coins, talk to him, get a pop item, which is the chip, go out to this location, trade the chip, and then you've killed this shark guy, which isn't tough. You need trusts, but... And then it'll drop these items. So it'll have a chance to drop Black Mage, Dark Knight, and Blue Mage. And then it'll give you this bonus for the next 24 hours. So then you have this in... While you're in sea, you get this bonus. Okay. So let me see here. Does it show... I can't remember what is needed for the Artifact +1, because that's not right. You need, like, whatever the base material is. I thought it was like I think you need like 2 of them. Don't you need like a button? This is incorrect. Here. What's this? Here it is. Okay, found it. Okay, so... for Blue Mage, I'm looking. There it is. So you'll need to get a Flame Shun cloth, aluminum thread, and then a crafted item, which is the leather. And then 20 coins. So you take these items. Here, if you want to screenshot it, there you go. Here, move my head. Here. Okay, hold on. There you go. So you can screenshot it. You can see, okay, I've got, if I want the hands or I want the body, get these 2 items while you're doing your dailies, and then either craft this or buy it off the auction house, trade it to Sagira in Port Juno, and then wait a few days. I don't know if must be in-game days, a couple hours, and she'll give you the +1s. Alright, once you have the +1s, in Segura. You can then further upgrade them with augments. So here you go. Once you have your +1 item, you get certain tiers. So each tier, it'll go up in price and rarity or potency. So you can see here, stage 1 will require 10 coins and all of these organs. Stage 2 is 2 high quality organs, coins, all these. Stage 3, so on and so forth. And each upgrade improves the armor. You can also store your organs and materials with vision, which is like the floating eyeball right next to Segura. But so this set is amazing. You can stack, you can mix and match it with other things for potency. But like for example, the pants, fully upgraded, give refresh +1. So you could have, technically you could have like +3 refresh passively, and then you could cast battery charge, and you'd have 6 MP refresh on yourself. I mean, all of these are great. The headpiece is a great melee piece. The body piece, like I said, it has accuracy dual wield, so it's actually decent, but you're removing the refresh, so I know it's a toss-up. The hands have haste and double attack, and then the feet would be like your magic and if you're casting big spells. So that stuff's really good. That's also super notable gear. There's a considerable time investment, that takes to, because you have to do your dailies, and you can only earn material at a certain rate. So you're forced to basically farm for a couple months. I don't know if it's months, weeks, in order. You can't just plow through it. You have to wait for the dailies to go by. I think you can also buy some of this stuff too. So if you have plenty of gil, I think organs... Are organs rare X? Oh, they're EX. Okay, so you can't do the regular organs, but you can buy the high quality organs. You can purchase those. You don't necessarily need to farm those. And then you can purchase coins, but I wouldn't. I would just farm like normal and get your stuff. But all right, boys, there we go. So I'm going to float back to the other screen since I forgot to put this in the live stream. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, fellas, I think that's pretty much it. Is there any other questions? What else we got for questions? I think I covered a lot. Let's see. Any other questions? Hopefully that helps. Okay, cool. All right, Darmus, I appreciate you, sir. I'm going to eat this chili. This chili's been sitting here. I don't think I've shut the hell up for the last hour. So we're going to eat this dinner, and I'll be getting out of here. I'll be back on tomorrow with something else. We'll check it out and see what it goes. All right, fellas, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Have a good one, Darmus. Appreciate you. All right, boys, we're out of here. All right, I'm leaving. Okay, goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Okay, bye.